Wakanda forever.
It's showtime.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl Nita, your favorite diva, and I am back to review Black Panther Wakanda Forever. This movie was written and directed by Ryan Coogler, who did the first one. It is starring the late Chadwick Boseman in spirit, Letitia Wright, Angela Bassett, Denai Guerrero, Lupita Nyong'o, Martin Freeman, Winston Duke, introducing Dominique Thorne as Ironheart, Tenoch Huerta as Namor or Kuku Khan, among many, many others. This is a stacked cast, you guys. Classified as an action, adventure, drama, fantasy, sci-fi thriller, clocks in at a whopping 2 hours and 41 minutes, and it's PG-13. And the synopsis reads: the people of Wakanda fight to protect their home from intervening world powers as they mourn the death of King T'Challa. And that is all I want to say, because this is your spoiler-free review. If you're new to the channel, welcome and welcome back, you guys. You already know what we do here. I watch movies so you don't have to. I give you the good, bad, and everything in between with no spoilers, of course, and let you know whether or not it's worth know or go seeing it in the theaters, which is now currently playing. First of all, we need to just go ahead and acknowledge the huge blow the world took, the MCU, Ryan Coogler, the comic book community, just anybody who loved the arts, movies, TV, film, entertainment, the whole world, in the untimely passing of Chadwick Boseman. May he continue to rest in power. I do not envy Ryan Coogler in this effort. This was a huge feat, and I wanted to give him his kudos that he is due for completing this assignment, this important movie to the franchise. This is mainly a closing of a chapter and a phase 4. This is very much return to form. The old MCU before Snap, BS, if you will. And in that, I found enjoyment. So let me go ahead and stop rambling and get with the good. The best thing about this movie, hands down, is the incomparable powerhouse performance of Angela Bassett, bar none. Some of my favorite scenes were her monologues. You've heard snippets of some of them in the trailers. Oh my God. The weight, the gravitas, everything that she brought to that role was paramount, and I loved every second that she was on that screen. Next up is Tenoch Huerta as Namor or Kuku Khan. I won't call him a villain. I will call him either an anti-hero or antagonist, because the way Ryan Coogler he said it in his interviews, and he always says that in the MCU, he doesn't write villains, he writes antagonists to the main character. And so due to his motivations and his stance on his cause, I wouldn't call him a villain. I would call him an antagonist as well. It does help that he is very nice to look at. Hello. But he definitely brought it in the performance area. And then the writing department and how they fleshed him out fully. Letitia Wright, okay, she had a lot on her shoulders. And while she rose to the occasion, you could really tell this wasn't the direction that we were going. She was a supporting character in Black Panther 1, an important character, but a supporting character. All the same. But it was just like the coach was like, tag, you win now. So she has a small stature, her small presence, and she had a lot to deliver. She did good, I think, and exceptionally well in the emotional department. And her character arc was phenomenal. And I think it's still going to continue. Okay. Lupita Nyong'o is the breath of fresh air that you didn't know that you need, because what she brings, because you have all this ferocity and all of this strong kind of masculine, feminine energy, with the strong Black women on here. Lupita Nyong'o portrays the tenderness, the feminine of a well-rounded feminine woman that can get things done. So she has the tenderness and femininity, and then she also has the fierceness that she brings to be a spy and conduct herself and get things done. And she had a nice role to play in this movie. Denai Guerrero as Okoye was fierce and fiery in her performance. I loved her character arc. I loved that they gave her more. She deserved it. She killed it. I love it. I noticed that they used her more for some comedic beats, and I thought she nailed those as well. Winston Duke, of course, Winston Duke is always a pleasure to see him on screen, especially in his franchise. Every time you see him come into the frame, the audience just bursts into laughter because you already know that something funny is about to come out of his mouth. He has such a commanding presence. They also gave him more things to do emotionally, and especially as it pertains to Shuri, which I found touching and a different side of him. But there are some things I will get into in my cons about his character. Okay, so we'll circle on back to him. Shout out to the talented Ruth Carter, the costume designer. She was in her bag on this one. There was one design that I didn't much care for, but I don't even know if she's behind the, what do you call it? I don't even know if she is behind the making of the suits. So I'm not going to knock her for that, but she was definitely a standout, and kudos to you for that. Shout out to Ludwig Göransson, and he is the music composer. It was definitely a play off of the first Black Panther, of course, which he composed as well. The score was especially commanding when he focused on Namor. Oh my God, it was like a horror score. Like, I was like, y'all trying to make this man look like the villain, and he is not. He is not the villain. But anyway, the score for Namor leaped off of the screen and just hit you right in the gut. Very, very good. Kudos to that. The movie was somewhat of a slow burn, y'all. There's a lot of different conversations, a lot of different character moments. We are, of course, dealing with this grief. We are dealing with a lot of things that we have to flesh out. But don't let that deter you, because there were a lot of fantastic action sequences and set pieces as well. It felt equally balanced, but there is a lot of dialogue. The action was very well choreographed. I love when Okoye and Adora Milaje, when they jumped off of that submarine and they just went into battle with Namor's people, the Talokan. Whew, girl, I'm telling you, it looks so good. Like the synchronization of it all, look great. I definitely want to give Ryan Coogler his flowers for putting together a cohesive story. His direction went up another notch for me. He was balancing a lot, and I won't take anything from him because I saw his movie in there, but I also saw the studio executives' decisions shoehorn in there as well. So we know it's not a this is a universe. It's an extended universe. So I'm going to try to give him some grace on that. The visual and special effects, especially the ones underwater, were very, very well done. I love how they incorporated the whales and the dolphins as the taxi cabs for the Taliban. Baby, they was getting it in, getting dropped off by the whales and shit. I was like, okay. They were badass. I love the Taliban. They was doing it. They was doing it. Now, I know I spent a lot of time praising this movie. This movie was a good movie. I had a lot of problems with it. I can't get into the exact moments, of course, because this is your spoiler-free review, but we'll be on my channel on Sunday at a roundtable discussing particular plot points and our spoiler-filled thoughts on it. So I hope you tune in Sunday around 5-ish Eastern Standard Time. So let's get to the bad. The glaring creative choices taken in this movie irritated me to no end. I do not know whose decision it was, but listen, it's a hard no and a full stop for me. I didn't like it. I was pissed. I don't even think I had the emotional to give for it because I was so pissed. But I digress. All I can say, I want to protect your viewing experience, so I'm not going to expound on it. There was one huge decision that I didn't agree with. The second one, I could live with it. There's so many directions and subplots going on. I think sometimes if you can pluck a certain storyline out and it doesn't affect the movie at all, it's not needed, and it could have been on the cutting room floor. However, I feel like it might have been set up to something else that was going on in Phase 5. So don't know. I'm not a comic book reader. I go by the movies, and just whatever information I get. But I'm not following the story like that. So that's why it didn't affect me either way. The only way it affected me is that I felt like we could have spent more time developing things that I wanted, that I was interested in, things that really mattered in this movie. I mean, y'all got Disney Plus, put it in a Disney Plus show. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I think you heard me say earlier that the powers had some things in there that wasn't needed, and plot points that could have been developed more. So, for example, we have Martin Freeman's character Ross. Okay, Ross, while we kind of like him, we like our favorite colonizer. He's a little funny. He brings some connectivity and some connectivity tissue from Black Panther 1. It totally felt unnecessary. Unnecessary. And unpopular opinion or hot take, whatever you want to say, I didn't care for Michaela Cole or her character. So I didn't like her portrayal of the character, and I didn't like her character as written. It took away from the story. Like, they gave her screen time that could have been well spent somewhere else. I'm just saying. If you feel like that, you let me know down in the comments. No judgment, just let me know. You agree, Diva? I agree. I don't. We could have dedicated more time to Okoye or to Riri's character, Ironheart's character. For the most part, I like Riri's character. She has some of those young, annoying traits of teenagers, but that's to be expected because, we're talking about a young college and she thinks she know it all. She's smart like that. You know what I'm saying? So she be smelling herself. So that's to be expected. But she did bring a lot of levity. I love her interactions in the suit, and as well as when they were operating as a trio with her, Okoye, and Shuri. I didn't like that the movie felt overly stuffed, trying to juggle too many things. However, I think Ryan still was able to keep it together for the most part, where it didn't feel too convoluted, but something definitely should have been left on the cutting room floor. I didn't like the way they portrayed M'Baku's character in combat. So look at him in combat and see what they did to him, and you let me know whether or not that shit pissed me off, because it's a no. Before I give my overall thoughts on Black Panther Wakanda Forever, take a moment and follow me on my social media. It's right there. So for my overall thoughts on Black Panther Wakanda Forever, it is a very entertaining comic book movie and a touching tribute to the late Chadwick Boseman. Though bit of a slow burn, but always compelling enough to keep you invested. While I roll in a couple of creative decisions, I won't take away that from the good of the story. That it overall brought to the MCU. Angela Bassett stole every scene that she was in with a powerhouse performance. This is just as much as her story as it was Chadwick Boseman's. A bit convoluted for some story setup for other properties in Phase 5, but it didn't add much to the story, and it didn't take away much either. I won't charge it to Ryan Coogler, as I know this was a committee decision. It was a very interesting antagonist in Namor, and it made for a very compelling story. So overall, I can definitely recommend Black Panther Wakanda Forever to everybody to go see on the biggest screen that you can. And I give it 3.75. I could have gave it 4, but I knocked it for the decision that was made. Shame on y'all. 3.75 out of 5 stars, and go see it on the biggest screen you can. It is definitely worth it. And so for my Diva recommendations, I have Black Panther, the first one of 2028. I have Captain America, Winter Soldier, and then I also have the Avengers, Infinity War, and Endgame. You can't watch one without watching the other. So there's that. Well, so that will do it for my review of Black Panther Wakanda Forever. You guys let me know in the comments, did you like it? I know everybody saw it. There's one mid-credit scene. There's not a post-credit scene. And My son was totally taken aback that there was not a post-credit scene. But anyway, it's all good. I think we got enough. Listen, 2 hours and 41 minutes. Okay, I was ready to go. Okay, so don't worry about having no post-credit scene or staying all the way to the end. Get on out there, interact with people, look at the cosplay. It was so much. I hope you enjoyed the cosplay that I have in the video and how I kind of took pictures because, you know, it was just another experience. And I will say I prefer the first one than this one. There were some excellent moments in this one, and I love the first hour and a half of the movie. The rest is just kind of like, okay, it was good, but they lost me with the decision that they made. And so, yeah, so I prefer just because of the weight and what it meant, you know, to me at that time. And I don't really see myself going to see this as much. I went to go see it twice so far. I may go see it one more time to kind of support. But at the same time, you know, I couldn't watch the first Black Panther outside. Like usually, like when the third act comes, I kind of like check out. But the movie was so touching to me. Like I love the first Black Panther. Like even if I was to watch it today, like something in me will well up and I would feel like I would want to cry. And so that is how that particular movie just touched me. And I can just remember, like, it's almost like those feelings like when Obama had got like elected as president. And when you kind of think about it and think about how you felt at that moment, it would still bring up those same, you know, like, you know, happy tears. Like, I just can't believe what I'm seeing. So yeah, loved it. I mean, loved the first one over the second one, but the second one has so much good in there, and I appreciate it for what it did bring. And but I do prefer the first over the second. So yes. Anyway, let me stop rambling. As always, I'm Nita, your favorite diva. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and make sure you come back. Bye.